Everybody got coffee? Thank you all for joining us this morning. Last month we trudged through snow. Today we get to go through the rain. So that means next month it's gotta be sunshine, right? So I see a lot more faces today than we had last month. So welcome to the new ones. It's good to see the familiar faces again. And I will tell you, I had a couple of ladies come up to me within the past couple of weeks while I was out having dinner, and of course they had their mask on. They said hello, and I said hello, and I'm thinking, I should know them. And it's because the ladies were here. So of you that did that, my apologies. There's many faces, so it was easier for you to recognize me than for me to recognize you, especially with masks on. So please, I invite you to give me a shout if you see me out, and just remind me, hey, I was in your workshop, or hey, I was in a lunch and learn, because I don't ever want to forget a face, especially when somebody's going to say, hey. So I will recap some things today for those that couldn't make it last month, and we will also dive into our new material and make sure that this is clicking for me. Well, maybe. I guess I'm having technical difficulties too. There we go. Yay. All right. So today we're going to talk about work-life balance, right? That's a challenge, especially for moms, right? And if we work and we have home stuff and we have work stuff and we might have church stuff and school stuff and neighborhood stuff and our own stuff, and we got to keep it all in balance. And none of that's revolutionary, but we still ain't getting it right, are we? We still struggle with that. So, rules of engagement, just be present in the moment, right? I'm not going to ask you to turn off your cell phones, but I will ask you to silence them. If you got to check something, check it. Okay, if you got to take a bio break, go. But just be in the moment. This is really about you guys today. So the more you share, the more you engage, the more impactful it will be for you and for the others. And of course, we're going to be respectful, right? We're all ladies. We're going to be respectful. And we're going to appreciate when someone shares a story or a question or a challenge or a curiosity. So be with me today. I won't go into too much about me again, but I will go ahead and introduce myself, just especially for those who haven't been here yet. So my name is Lisha Proudfoot. I'm a certified behavioral consultant and a business strategist. I grew up in a family of small business owners. Most of them struggled, and I said, no way, I'm not doing that. So after college, after I got my undergrad in business, I jumped into corporate America. And then my dad called and said, hey, can you help me with my business? I need to get back up on his feet. And I'm like, oh gosh. So we didn't have kids. That was BK, before kids. And my husband at the time and I moved to West Virginia from Texas. And on the way there, some of you guys will remember this story. My dad calls me. Literally, we're driving to West Virginia. And he calls me and he says, oh, I haven't paid my last 5 years of taxes. Are you kidding me? I just jumped out of a corporate America job. So we did get him up on his feet, set him up for retirement, broke up on our own, and decided to run our own businesses. We started with one, and we grew our portfolio to 6. Not without its challenges, for sure. One of them we thought we were going to have to shut down, and we threw a Hail Mary, and it worked, thank goodness. But lots of learning there. Crazy life happens. We split up. We split up the companies. He has some, I have some. I started another one. I started Focus Strat. And during all of that time of owning those businesses, I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree. And we started having kids. Talk about work-life balance. That was craziness. But I didn't have time to slow down and think about it. Knowing now what I know, I would have done some things way differently had I known it then. So I want to share some of that with you as we go through this year-long journey of leadership development. So I am currently, Focus Strat is my newest company. It is being contracted by small business development centers in Butler and Warren counties. So I work with their clients, and then of course I work with business owners and department heads. They don't necessarily have to be a business owner in whatever business challenge that they are having. So that is my journey, and you can ask me 50 questions on it, that's fine. I'm happy to share. Some of it's boring, but I'll share it. All right, a litany of things we're going to go through today, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but there's our topics. I want to get into the fun stuff. The one thing that I want to share with you is what we'll do each month is we will talk about, whoever wants to share, we will talk about what we practiced or what we worked on for the previous 30 days. So our topic from last month, what did you work on for these 30 days that led to today? What did you learn? What are you challenged with? So I'll ask that here in just a second. We'll talk about our business planner. I want to show you the binder. Everybody got a binder? We'll jump into our topics, and then we'll do our takeaways. So last month, everybody got one of these, but these are out on the table. I didn't give them out this time. One of these is a tell me more. So there are topics on here that if you are interested in knowing more about, fill this out and leave it for me, give it to me. Make sure you put your name on it and your contact information. I got several of these last month, and there was no name or contact information. So if I haven't contacted you yet about something that you filled out on here, fill out another one, because I didn't have a way to get in contact with you. And then the other one is spread the word. So if you know of someone that can use my services, would be helpful for them to participate in one of my workshops. This is how I grow my company, is by asking you to advocate if you got helpful nuggets of information. And if you didn't, please allow me the opportunity to clarify and make it impactful for you, okay? All right, so these are out there on that table. Now, the binder. All right, in your binder, hopefully everybody got a green card. I want you to keep this near your phone or computer or wherever you are communicating with people the most. You walk around with a clipboard, put it on your clipboard, okay? And in a second, I'm going to talk about the percentages of who's a D, who's an I, S, and C. And I want you to write that on your card. All right. As well, in your binder is this business planner. We will use this every session, okay? And I will tell you what pages we're going to work on. And then you have tab sections. So after the first tab, I would put your disc assessment. Keep that handy. And then the second tab is going to be those yellow papers that you picked up on your way in, because that's what we're going to work on today. So, and then we'll fill in the rest of the tabs as we go. Any questions on that? All right. One thing I had to share, I have this newspaper in here. Interestingly enough, as I was doing final preparations for today's presentation, in the Journal News Pulse, March 7th to the 13th, there is an article called Time to Talk About Time. And I thought, well, how appropriate. The timing on the time. And now this article is really about talking to her daughter about investing, right? She's got a 20-year-old daughter. Invest your dollar today. Save as much as you can. But the whole point of this is we have to take time to develop ourselves. We have to take time to improve. It's not going to just happen, right? So we have to schedule that. We have to make a concerted effort to do that. And what better way to set a good example for our kids and good friends. So I thought this was interesting, and I just wanted to share that came out. All right. Here's the topics that we will be talking about every month. So we have a ways to go, but we're going to fill in those tab sections, and it'll be fun. All right, progress sharing. Who's going to be my brave soul and wants to share what they've worked on over the last 30 days what struggles you had, challenges you had. Yes. Hold on. Oh. I almost forgot. Dave, you gotta do this.
I realize I need to listen more. I've been trying to work on that.
Yeah, I think active listening, right? We probably all use some improvement in there. And what a great example to set for our kids. That's awesome, thank you. Who else wants to share? I'll get you.
It's more an observation. We were having some changeover, and in that changeover, a lot of personalities started rising. And so I was looking at the disc and going, oh, maybe we should do this with our team so we all know where we're coming from so we can communicate better. And so it's really sparked a lot of great conversation.
Oh, good. Thank you for sharing that. Who else did that? Did anybody go home and look at your significant other and go, pull out your card and be like, I think you're this. Or your kids, think about what your kids are. There's one back here. Yes.
I was doing the same thing, just trying to figure out what was going on, and I'm an S. And I thought I was going to ask you this: if we're in a group of a lot of S's, can you turn it to a D? Because if you're part D too, because I'm surprised that I wasn't more D. And I thought, if no one's going to take the reins, I'm
Step up. Great. It's a great question. So you don't necessarily turn into, right? But that's a great way to ask it, right? So a lot of those, if we go back to the graphs, the 3 graphs, right? That middle graph is your core self. The first graph is your public self, so that's sort of the mask that you wear according to who you're around. And the difference between those 2 graphs gives you your third graph, which is what gives you your final assessment result. So if that second point, you say you're an SD? SC. If that second point is pretty much as high as your first one, then you will flip-flop is not really the right word, but you will display tendencies of both quite frequently. If that second point is a bit lower, significantly lower, you may not display those tendencies quite as much. But don't forget, there are combinations that mask as something else in certain situations, right? So an ISC or an SCI, that masks as a D. They don't play dominant all the time, but they do when they need to, and then they step back, right? And it depends on what the other personality combinations are of who you're around. They may not have as high of an SC as you, right? And then when we start to look at the 2D, 3D, 4D, right? Those getting to the center of the Tootsie Roll, right? Peeling back the layers of that onion, some of those tendencies start to come out depending upon the environment that we're in. Does that help clarify? Yes, it's a good question. Who else wants to share? I have to take somewhere? No, I'm just kidding, I won't do that. Excellent. I think this is still on. Let's see if it's still on.
So I did the little.
It's not?
No.
Hold on. I turned it off because I was trying to save battery. Here we go.
No? Yes. I did the little questionnaire with my husband, which was a horrible idea. And, it says have open discussion. We did not. I just said, tell me yes or no. But it was kind of eye-opening because it's our relationship, not in a work atmosphere, in our relationship, I'm like, ugh. Like, there's a few things I probably need to adjust. So that was a good little, that was a good little worksheet.
Yeah. and you think about that first graph, right? How we act at home sometimes is different than how we act in work environment, or church environment, or neighborhood environment. So, but yeah, it's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. Did anybody else do that? Go home and give that other sheet? You gave it to your significant other? Is anybody else sorry they did that?
Yeah, I did the same thing. I sort of put it out on the counter and said, here.
can you fill these out? And when he got home, he said, all right, let me do this. And he looked at it and said, I don't know that I should do this. And I said, I understand. And I said, we can have an open discussion about it. We didn't also, but I woke up this morning and it was complete.
So he did his job.
He ended up doing it, but I think he wanted to do it on friendly terms. And
Yeah.
away from the wrath, if anything. But I'm looking at it and I'm wondering if he just filled it out the way that he thought he should.
Oh, that's a good point, right?
I think I would have maybe disagreed.
Tell you what you want to hear. That's great, thank you for sharing. Yeah, it is funny because I did have my husband do the same thing. I gave it to him and he gave me the same look that he gives me when I say, does this make me look fat? Right? It's the same look. He's like, like where do I go with this? Right? There's no good answer. So same thing. I kind of wondered if my husband gave me the answers I wanted to hear. Right. He did. Well, it's good. He was being honest, right? He was brave in it. I love it. I love it. Thanks, you guys, for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Okay. All right. And again, we can, if you have any questions about your DISC assessment, I am happy to schedule time with you and go through that. So as many times as you want, because I love talking about it. So, all right. So just to bring some of you guys up to speed who weren't with us, this DISC science was developed by Dr. William Marston, who also invented the lie detector test back in the mid-1920s. He also, sidebar, wrote the Wonder Woman comics. I don't know what those two have to do with each other, but it's just interesting to know. So all of the other assessments, personality and behavioral assessments that are out there, Myers-Briggs, Wilson social styles, strengths finders, the one that I can never remember where you find your spirit animal, I can never remember that one. Anyways, those are all based off of DISC science, right? So this has been around a long time. Here's your percentages. I want you to write these on your card if you don't already. D's, that's my dominance, right? Gotta walk in, I got a goal, I got a budget, I got a timeline, let's go, 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 go. We gotta get it done. Right, that's my D's. Only 3% of the population are high D's. They come across as very dominant, and sometimes to the other styles, too dominant. So sometimes we have to bring our D down a little bit. My I's, those are my outgoing, can walk into a room and make friends with the entire room. I think I used the example last time. Sorry, I'm messing with my microphone because it's not staying on here. They're the ones that can take an Uber ride, and by the end of the Uber ride, they've got a new best friend, the Uber driver. That's my I's. They love people, lots of people. The more people, the better. My S's are 69% of the population. So chances are, if you're interacting with someone, they very well could be an S. Slow and steady, I like a secure environment, right? S's, their biggest fear is loss of security. I's biggest fear is not being liked. People don't like me. D's biggest fear is being taken advantage of. And my C's, these are my analytical people, my detail people. Love our C's. They're only 17% of the population. They can sometimes run analysis paralysis too. But that's okay. We need detail people. And S's are detail people as well. C's biggest fear is being criticized. And if you have constructive feedback for a C, please make sure it's based on data, not subjective, not opinion. Because C's can change the data, but they probably won't need to because they checked it 50 times 2 weeks ago and it's perfect. So C's operate at a very high level of perfection. So you can imagine how extremely disappointed they get when the rest of the population doesn't operate at that high level. All right, my D's and C's, my D's and I's are very active, right? They make decisions quickly. Keep on keeping on. My S's and C's, not so much. We're a lot more passive. If stress goes up, we slow down because we want more information before we make a decision. And by the way, S's hate to make decisions. C's don't like it either, but if they make decisions, it's got to be based on data. My D's and C's are task-oriented. What has to be done? They don't care about the kids' football game over the weekend. They don't care that Aunt Edna's toe is getting better. Don't talk to them about stuff like that. They don't care. They just want to know what's got to get done. But my I's and S's, they do want to know about your kids' football game or basketball game, and did their team win, and are they going to the finals, and are you getting a carpool, and all of that. And they want to know about me and Edna's toe. They're very people-oriented. They've got to have those relationships. So if you are interacting, if you walk into an I or an S's office, have chit-chat first. Ask them how their weekend was. Don't do that if you go into a D or C's office. Just cut to the chase. Okay? All right. Any questions on that? Okay. Just trying to make sure I get a good recap for you. There we go. All right, so we talked about 4D. You guys did a 4D, right? The 2D, 3D, 4D. And we get into, on the second, third, and fourth, our team style, right? So what role would we play on a team? Our values, what's most important to us? And our behavioral attitude index. So those things that are not observable and not easily changed. That's that Tootsie Center. Those things that mean the most to us. And wouldn't it be great if the people we interact with have the exact same values and the exact same behavioral attitudes? And that's not possible. So let's be aware of what we are so that we can start to be aware of what somebody else is. Whoopsie. All right. Why is it doing that? Today is not my day. It is not sticking on there. Stay. All right. So when I say, we're sort of getting to the center, I use this iceberg analysis because we know it's not just what you see on top, which is sort of the disc. There's so much more below it. And we have to be aware of that. Okay? Here's how y'all break out. Out of all the ladies that registered for this, only 5 are high Ds. And only 14 are I's. Look how many S's. I got 31 S's. And 24 C's. My C's right now are adding this up to see what this totals. All right. So, what does all this have to do with work-life balance? It has everything to do with it. How are we utilizing our time? And by the way, I's are always late. Right? They're fashionably late. C's get there 15 minutes early. D's come in, they make a cameo appearance. They're probably late because they're still doing all these important things, right? And the S's will show up to help you set up the party. Right. So if I'm an I and I'm having a party and a C shows up, I am so not ready. I'm not ready, but I'll just keep getting stuff ready as people come. Right? But if I'm an S and you show up early, I probably have a list of things for you to do that you can help with. All right. So I talk about different time zones because depending on your personality style, we operate in our own time zone. There we go. All right. Icebreaker activity. You ready? Love this. So what does your fridge say about your personality? So we have the deliberate shopper, the imaginative shopper, our sensible shopper, and our coordinated shopper. So let's guess what they might be. All right, here you go. This shopper, when you look at their fridge, all right, they have a familiar routine. They go to the same store every week. They know what they want. They gravitate towards the same brands. Let's see. They rarely are going to deviate from their shopping list. They definitely have a shopping list. And let's see. Oh, there's probably bulk products, right? They've got leftovers. Let's see, what else? Crowded refrigerator. That's a little obvious, right? And they're likely to buy one giant bottle of ketchup instead of like the 3 different artisanal flavors of ketchup. And they're drawn to shopping clubs, like Sam's and Costco. Any guesses on what this one, which shopper would this be? A sensible shopper, a coordinated shopper, deliberate shopper, or imaginative shopper? Don't answer yet. We're gonna go to the next one. Oops. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. All right. Second one. Yeah, which one fridge was that? Okay, this shopper would never throw a bottle of ketchup into the crisper just because that's the only place left. Like, they would never do that. Oh, when they go to the grocery store, they have a plan as to how they're moving through the grocery store. They know exactly where they're gonna go. They plan that route ahead of time. Oh, and they have their coupons loaded on their grocery cart already. They did that before they got there. And they know what everything should cost. They're keeping a tally in their head as they're shopping. Let's see what else. Oh, when they get home, they're very meticulous about how they're putting their groceries away, right? Not only how they bought them, but how they're putting them in that fridge. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, they probably don't need like the National Clean Out Your Fridge Day. They've been cleaning it out all along, which is why it looks like this. All right, so on this one, is it gonna be your deliberate shopper, coordinated shopper, sensible shopper, imaginative shopper? Seems like a bachelor apartment, doesn't it? All right, number 3. All right, this one is obviously minimalistic. Not a lot there. This shopper hates to shop and will only go grocery shopping when they need something at the time they need it. There's no point in going shopping just to see what's there. This shopper does not do that. They don't comparison shop. They definitely don't comparison shop. Oh, now here's a twist. They could be an extreme couponer. Okay? They could be. But it's not because they like to clip coupons. It's because it's a competition for them. They want to walk out of the grocery store getting a better deal than everybody else that was there. That's this shopper. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this one? Yeah, they don't comparison shop. There's no dilly-dallying in the grocery store. All right, so that's that one. Let's go to 4. Oops, hold on. I'm losing my microphone. I've been messing with this thing all day. It's probably not going to be the last time. Okay, this one. All right, this one. This one could be a bit challenged on cleaning out your refrigerator day. Staying focused on doing that could be a bit of an issue. They definitely don't plan meals. When they shop, they buy whatever looks good at the moment. So they're going to go through the grocery store. They'll probably go through every aisle. They probably go through shopping. And ooh, that looks good. Oh, look at that. That looks good. What fruit is that? I'm buying that fruit. That's how this shopper does. Okay? Let's see. Oh, you definitely want to visit this shopper because they've got all kinds of food and probably all kinds of condiments that are probably used once because they bought it, because it looked good, they opened it, it's still sort of fresh. But in the back, it's probably expired items. So don't reach too far into their fridge. Just get the stuff that's right in front. Okay, so talk to me. Hold on. We had to repair our whiteboard here, so I have to be gentle with it. Okay. Look, I know my C's and S's are like, that is not completely erased. That's okay. It's all right. Okay, so number 1, top left. What kind of a shopper do we think that was?
Sensible.
Sensible shopper?
Yes.
Does anybody else not think that number one is sensible shopper? Yes, sensible shopper, imaginative shopper, coordinated shopper, or deliberate shopper. Show of hands, who thinks number one is sensible shopper? Okay, who thinks it's imaginative shopper? Couple. Who thinks deliberate shopper? Couple. Okay, who thinks coordinated shopper? I didn't see any for coordinated. It is sensible shopper. All right. Number two. Coordinated. That's so obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does anybody not think it's coordinated? Yeah, it's super coordinated. All right. Number three. The bachelor fridge. Deliberate? Show of hands, who thinks deliberate? Does anybody not think deliberate? It is deliberate. Ooh, can you guess what number 4 is? Yeah, deliberate, absolutely. And then imaginative. I think for me, I could be a combination of all of those at any one time. But then it's hard too, right? If you live with other people or you have kids, especially if you like this number 2, it doesn't always stay like that. Daggone kids. Right? Or if your significant other puts the milk on the wrong shelf, you make sure that when you open it up, it goes back in the same place it's Absolutely. Okay. So now, you guys can go home and look at your fridge and be like, what's to say about my personality? And then go one step further and watch your significant other when they get in the fridge. Be like, hey, that does not go there. Ketchup does not go in the crisper, ever. Right? Okay. Cool. So things that we're going to talk about, I want you to understand this is a snippet of the program that I typically do, right? Because we've got limited time, which I gotta make sure I keep an eye on our time. So I'm just going to quickly go through. When I have my full program, these are all the topics that we end up going through. So, and I do this program either over 2 days or I say a half day, it's like a long half day, like a 6-hour day. Or I've had customers that have wanted to stretch it out over a week. So it just depends on how many engagement activities we do. So understand that what we go through on any of these month's topics are a snippet of a bigger program, okay? And I told you I would read the evaluations, and I did. And I love that I have some folks who be like, they wrote in there, I would like more information. I don't feel like we have enough time. I want more details. I would love to give you those details, but I don't have time. How ironic we're talking about that. So just know that it is part of the larger program, okay? All right. Remember in the first session I said, if I talk about a business owner or business ownership, you don't have to necessarily be a business owner. I want you to think of your department as your business, right? So if I say business owner, it still means you if you work in a department. If you work in a department. As you work in your department. You're the owner of your work. You're the owner of your results. So this still applies to you. All right. Tell me some other reasons why people would go into business. I got one up there. What's another reason? Time and flexibility. Yep. What else? I saw a thing over here somewhere. I thought I did. Flexibility. Yep. Opportunity to make more money. Yep.
Feeling like you can make a difference.
Feeling like you can make a difference, right? Being impactful. Yeah. Those are all reasons, right? Financial freedom. I have to keep walking back over here because it's not picking up my clicker. Family, so flexibility, having more time to do things with your family. Passion, right? Feeling like you're making a difference. And a lot of times that's why we choose a particular job or career path, because we still want those things fulfilled, even though we're not owning a business. So how do we become flexible, more impactful, valuable? We do it by managing our time. All right. Whether you own a business or you are in a department, we obviously want things to sort of be sort of automatic, if you will, right? We want processes in place. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just go on autopilot and we didn't have to be there? That's not realistic, but wouldn't it be nice? But we can work towards that and we can make it more efficient. We want to make sure that it's not so dependent on us, and especially for my business owners, we definitely have that feeling. It depends on us. No, it doesn't depend on us if we're doing the right things, putting the right processes in place, training the right people, setting the right goals, setting the right priorities. All right, we've got to make sure that our business is not running us, or our job is not running us. How many times do we take our work home, even if we're not a business owner? Right? We take our work home, even if we're not sitting down physically working on something, we may be thinking about something, mulling it over. I've got a challenge at work I've got to resolve. So we're taking that work home because we're spending our mind share on it. When we spend our mind share on it, we're not spending our mind share with our family or whatever it is that we want to go do for ourselves. All right. So putting those systems in place, and that's not necessarily like a computer system. Sometimes it's processes. Oops. Seriously. Do any of you know this person at work or in your family or in your neighborhood? Let me tell you how busy I am. I am so busy. All right, that's per review. How busy are you? I am so busy. I don't have time to do anything else. Really, what are you busy doing? I had a business owner last month. I'm not gonna lie. We had a meeting scheduled, and he had been telling me just the financial challenges that he's been having. And right now, because of COVID, there's a lot of those, but he was having financial challenges prior to COVID. He just wanted to blame COVID, right? There's some of those. So I said, okay, I will meet you at this day, at this time. This is what we're going to talk about, blah, blah, blah. I sort of outlined it for him. I pull up in front of his business. He's getting out of his truck, and he's carrying a box of envelopes into the office. So I park, and I go in, and I said, hello. I said, did you go shopping? I would have given you my shopping list. He's like, oh yeah, I had to go to Office Depot or Staples or whatever one is near him. I said, oh, okay. So we go back to his office, and I said, how much are you worth? Excuse me? I was asking about his just personal financial situation. I said, hourly rate, how much are you worth? Well, I don't know. I said, you do know. If you were going to pay yourself, or I was going to hire you and pay you, what would your hourly rate be? Well, I don't know, a couple $100 an hour. Nice. Why not? I need that job. A couple $100 an hour. Okay. So would you ask, I'll just call her Sally, who is his office manager, would you pay Sally $200 for the hour to go to Office Depot, pick up those envelopes, and come back? Well, no. Then why would you pay yourself that? Why would you pay yourself $200 an hour to go get envelopes? Wouldn't that be a better investment of $200 if you were planning for the growth of your business? If you were developing your people? If you were putting systems in place that made it a more efficient operation, and then some of these financial challenges that you're having, you wouldn't be having. So you're choosing to spend your time at $200 an hour to go get envelopes, which you can order online, by the way. That doesn't make sense, right? So it comes about, you're coming back full circle. Prioritizing, time management, delegation. Why are we making some of the decisions that we make? Would we pay somebody else the same rate we would pay ourselves to do something like that? Doesn't make sense. All right. I'm going to give you guys a second to read through this. And you can only pick one. Okay? I know you're going, oh, that fits me. Oh, that's me. Read through that. Everybody got this read? All right, you can only pick one. Show of hands. Who does number one apply to? Do you feel like number one applies to you? Two. Now hold on high because I'm counting. Okay, 4. All right. Number 2. Who feels like number 2 applies to you? Nobody. Number 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8. I saw 8. Okay. Number 4. Woo. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Number 5. One number 5? All right, number 6. I reactively tackle urgent matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know I've got people hiding back there, so make sure you're like doing this so I can see you. All right, 8. All right. Number 7. I'm caught working in. All right, 1, 2, 3. 3 of those. Number 8. I'm juggling too much. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Got my ones here and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 9, I'm chained to my desk. 1. All right. Number 10, I'm the chief go-to problem solver. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4 of those. That's interesting. All right. 11, I occasionally suffer from the business owner blues. Nope. Okay. Number 12, stuck doing everything. You're the only one doing everything. You do it all, girls. All right. And number 13, clutter, complexity, and confusion. 1, 2, 3. 3. All right. Show of hands, nice and high. Who feels like all of these fit them? Right. Who feels like more than 4 of these fit them? Yeah. So another segment to this, which we can do either in next year's session or maybe a lunch and learn, is stress management. And so we dive into some of this and we really start looking at our stressors. So just know that stress management is kind of another segment for this. And it really became a popular topic when the pandemic hit, right? Because it's stressful, both from a health standpoint, financial standpoint. My eyes couldn't socialize. Had to wear masks, S's. You had to tell them they were working from home. You didn't give them a couple weeks to absorb that, process that. It was stressful. Still is. All right. All right, what would you do if you had more free time? And I want you to shout it out to me. And I know I don't have the microphone. All right, time. What would you do if you had more free time? Netflix, right? Hike. Okay, so I got Netflix, hike. What else? Lake. Travel. What else? Art. Exercise. Education. We love that one. More free time, what would you do? Longer bubble baths? Books. Read. Anything else? Garden? Okay. Any others? Okay. What would you do if you had more money? Travel, right? Let's see, remodel. Charity. Like it. What was it? Hire help at home, right? Hire home help. Save more? Yep. What else would you do with more moolah? Massages? Yes, massages. She said buy toys like boats and, big people's toys. I'm not toys. What else? Isn't it interesting how many different things we have on our money side than our time side? Because we're placing different values on those. If we had almost the exact same things, it would be a little bit more of a balanced life. But because they are different values, we have a hard time balancing that. Okay, but we want it all. We want it all. All right, how many of us like to be in control? Sometimes I don't want to be in control. Like that nightly conversation where you go, what's for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to have for dinner? Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? Whatever you want. No, whatever you want. It's like 20 minutes. I'm like, dude, just make a decision. I don't care. I just want to eat. Now. Go hangry. Right? And then there's other times where I do want to be in control. Like, no, this is what we're doing this weekend. Just so you know. But we're not in control. And if we think we are, or we really want to be, that's an issue. Because we become the bottleneck. We're not in control. We can't control other people, right? We can't control what happens around us. And a lot of times we're reacting to what happens around us and the people that we interact with. All right. Yep, we become that bottleneck. If you are a decision maker in a company or you are the business owner, please, please, please keep this in mind. Because we do have a tendency to not delegate, especially my C's. My C's are like, I'm just going to do this because I can do it right the first time. And I don't want to mess around with somebody else and wait on them to get it right. Right? But we can't. We do have to delegate. We've got to figure out the proper way to delegate. And that's so hard. It's my project. It's my baby. You can't touch it. If we try to control everything, we are going to get burned out. We're going to be exhausted. And you know what? That's going to affect the others around us. It's going to affect our family. It's going to affect the people that work with us. It's going to affect the people that work for us. And guess who ultimately sees that? Our clients. they will see that. No matter how much you try to hide it. So, be in charge, not in control. Huge difference. All right, let's talk about this one. We're going to do sort of the same thing here with the numbers. Oof. Oh, eraser. Ooh, that did not sound good. Kristen, I hope this is good duct tape back here.
I know we could get a better one.
Yeah? From you? Yeah. Put it on the house account. Because I borrowed this one, so. All right. I know it's not completely erased. Shh. I can tell what you're thinking. Okay. We're going to do, well, I'm going to bring them all up here because I want you guys to read through these. All right. Do I have a balanced life? Am I focused on the long-term profitability of the business? Focused on long-term relationships in the business? Am I having fun and getting fulfillment? Am I tackling the important matters? Doing the right things? Leveraging my talents and the talents of the people that work with me? And spending time with people that build me up? Show of hands, you can only pick one. All right. How many people feel like number one applies to them? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 11 of you. Number 2. Who feels like number 2 applies to them? You're still the only one. Okay. Number 3. Focus on long-term relationships. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, how about number 4? Am I having fun? We're having fun, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you have your hand up? 6, 7. Okay. 7 of you. All right, number 5. Am I tackling the important matters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Number 6. Doing the right things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just out of curiosity, of you that just put your hand up, how many of you are C's? That's what I thought. Okay. All right. Number 7. Am I leveraging my talents and the talents of the people that work with me? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. Number 8. Spending time with people that build me up. 1. Okay, 1. All right. So these places, this list and the list before when I asked you to show your hands, I want you to think about those could be areas of potential improvement. So when we get to the business planner at the end of the session, you can pick some of those things as your area of improvement to work on over the next 30 days. All right, any questions on this? Okay. Trick question. Mastering time management means that I can manage what? Who says time? Show of hands. Who says space? Who says myself? And who says people? You're all winners. It's myself. Except you said people, didn't you? You can only pick one. Yeah, we got to manage ourselves, right? We're not technically managing time, right? Time, I just said that. That's a great segue, isn't it? That 10:15 is coming around. We ain't stopping it. It's coming. We can't manage it. We can't say hold off. I mean, I guess we could if it was like daylight savings time. It's 3/4 time. If 2:30 is your deadline, you're not going to get to move 2:30. You might be able to get the date of your deadline pushed, but you're not going to push 2:30. It's still there. We all have that same 24 hours a day. how do we become more productive with our time? And when we reflect back on those 2 lists that we just did, which of those things are you going to make a conscious effort to improve? Because it's not going to improve on its own. Right? So let's write it down. I am having clicker issues. Clicker and microphone issues. All right. This says your business, but it's your area of responsibility, right? Good, bad, the ugly. We made the decisions that we made. It is what it is. So we have to change. We have to make up our mind to change. That is the only way things will change. We're going to do that in our beliefs and our behavior. And then, of course, that all comes down to mindset. And we actually have a monthly topic talking about strategic mindset. What's that definition of insanity? Doing the same things and expecting something different. Insane. Okay, biggest time wasters. Oh, I love this one. Talk to me. What are your biggest time wasters? Like, is it texting? Is it social media? Is it the office chit chat? What is it? Biggest time wasters.
TikTok.
Meeting about. Meeting about meeting. Right? Let's have a meeting to figure out how we're going to have a meeting. What else? Social media. What else? Zoom. Especially when you can't get it to work right. Redoing things, right? Working from home and redoing correctly. Dana's such a C. What else? Micromanaging.
Meetings that could have been an email.
Did I hear one?
Meetings that could have been an email.
Meetings that could have been an email. Yes. Could be email. What else? You know, what I find is my biggest time waster is when I'm doing research for a client. And so I'm Googling and I'm looking stuff up and I'm gathering all this information and I start my list of, pertinent data. And then all of a sudden I'm checking out on Amazon. What happened? Like, where was that journey? And then I'm like, that was 3 hours. Like, whoa. And then my husband goes, oh, this came for you. Really? Just wondering to work with that. Amazon to me is like, ugh. So I am putting that. I think I'm on a first name basis with the Amazon driver. He leaves dog treats for my dog. Like, that's clearly an indication that I am ordering way too much crap. And my house is not big enough for crap. All right, any other time wasters?
Trying to find a COVID vaccine.
Yes. Right? Searching COVID back. Yes. Yeah, I'll make those easy. They should just have like a vending machine for those. So much easier. Ooh, new business idea. Any others? Okay. I want you to keep this in mind because, again, this can be areas for improvement for you. We know this is our time wasters. We've got to be very deliberate in curbing our time spent on these time wasters. The other big one is, got a minute? Hey, got a minute? I just want to pop in. You guys second? If I had a dime, well, I had $1. Every time I hear that, I have like $5. No, I mean seriously. And being an I don't want to say no. I'm like, yeah, come on in. Let's chat. And then we'll talk, and then I'm like, what did you mean? Those are big time wasters too. Now that happens obviously more in an office setting than the whole work from home thing, because now it just comes across in the text. I used to do that to texting. All right. Time management, I say business leader traps because again, you don't have to be a business owner. But this is where these are our 4 traps. But time management, whether it's for ourselves or it's for our staff, is huge. Okay, there's going to be a lot of information on the screen. I'm going to go through it quickly because we're going to do this urgent and important matrix, okay? So your urgent items, these are the things that are in your face, right? You got to do them every day. They're typically requested by other people, so phone calls, meetings, responding to other people. You're important and not urgent. If you don't do these, they're going to have the greatest long-term consequence. So you might be able to put them off for a little while, but you can't put them off for very long. Oopsie. Okay. Upgrading your knowledge or skills, your personal renewal, your physical fitness, and your family time. If you neglect that for too long, well, not a good thing. Okay. Urgent and not important. So a lot of times we convince ourselves that we got to tackle this stuff, kind of like our time wasters, right? We'll just take care of that. So telephone calls, dropping in to see you, that's that got a minute thing. The casual conversations, because they're sort of right there, so we're just going to go ahead and they're easy to deal with, so we do. Not urgent and not important. There's no point in doing these. They're not going to help you develop your goals, right? Or achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Reading that newspaper, calling home to see what's for dinner. I jokingly tell my husband, when he says it's your night to cook, I'm like, all right, which restaurant do you want to go to? That's exactly what it is. And then going shopping. Amazon. All right, urgent and important. We're going to tackle this together. So, we're going to start with the upper right. Tell me something that is urgent and important. Whew, that is not. Okay. Tell me something urgent and important. What do you do daily that is urgent? Maybe it's not daily. Maybe it's every day. In your world, in your operating reality, tell me something that's urgent and important. Qualifying clients. Okay. Tell me another.
Follow up with customers.
What is it?
Follow up with customers.
Follow up with customers.
Scheduling staff.
Scheduling staff. What else? Work deadline. Oops. What else? Urgent and important. This is urgent. I gotta get it done. Collecting. Yes, collecting payments. That's way redundant. Collecting. Cha-ching. Right, what else?
I don't know, but in real estate, it's showing how right now,
Okay, so writing real estate, writing contracts. Okay. Okay, what else?
Payroll. Payroll.
Payroll. Yeah. They kind of want to pay you, don't they? How dare they not work for free? What is it? Enrolling new families. I'll put clients. How does that sound? Or customers. What else? Thought I saw another hand somewhere. Okay. Now, I want you to tell me something that is not urgent and important. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Whew. I'm going to attempt to bring this around here so that we so you can't see that. All right, you guys see that? And I'm gonna grab this Sharpie right here. All right, tell me something that is not urgent, not urgent and important. Training staff. What else?
Arriving prepared.
What was it?
Arriving prepared.
Arriving prepared. Okay. What else? Setting goals. What else? Oops. Some other one. Self-care. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I know there's a lot of other good ideas, but in the interest of time, I will challenge you to say, so for instance, a not urgent but important could be that my boss asks me right now to have a report for him or her by like 10 o'clock. You know what? That is not important to me. I got crap to work on. But it just became urgent because my boss asked for it. So I'm going to challenge you to say, of the things that are urgent and important, would your business crater in the next 30 days? Crater in the next 30 days if you didn't do it? Would your department go completely paralyzed if you didn't do it in the next 30 days? And if the answer is no, it's not going to crater, it's not going to go paralyzed, then move it to not urgent and important. We tend to put everything in urgent and important. And if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority, right? So if your business doesn't crater in the next 30 days if you don't do it, move it to another space on this matrix, okay? All right. Any questions on that? All right. Activity. All right, hop up. Juggling all the balls. How many of us feel like we are constantly juggling all the balls? Lots of us, right? Of you that have done this activity with me before, raise your hand. I'll call it the balloon activity. Does that ring any bells? Raise them high. Okay. I need 4 of you to be my helpers. So just go over here to those doors. If you've done this activity with me before, 4 of you. Excellent. Got 4. Okay. I want you guys to sort of break into 2 groups, right? Part the Red Sea. I want one group back there, and I want one group back there in those corners. You're going to form a circle. So I don't want any tables in the middle. That's the reason I'm moving you to the back corners. Okay? Oh, I forgot to shoot. If you could grab your mask for sure. Grab the black Sharpies off of your tables and take them with you. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. Okay, so my helpers are going to come around with bags of balloons. You are to grab one balloon, and with your marker, you have to share, with your marker, I want you to write on the balloon something that you do, that you spend your time doing, much like the lists that we've been making, okay? Let me have the clear bag. Thank you. All right. You guys are gonna have to share markers. Sorry. All right, and bring your circles in tighter. Okay, you're gonna have to get closer to each other because I have just hired you all as my balloon jugglers. That is your job. Yep, bring your circle in tight. You are my balloon jugglers. You're being paid more than $200 an hour to juggle your balloons. Do not let these balloons drop, or you are going to be fired. Okay? Do we still have, are we done putting our task on our balloon? Is there anybody still writing? We good? I gotta get mine. All right, I gotta set our timer here. When I say go, you are going to start juggling your balloons as a group. So you want to make sure they don't drop, because I don't have to fire you. Okay. You have to juggle these balloons for 2 minutes without dropping. Are we ready, jugglers? Ready, set, go. Juggle, juggle, juggle. No dropping. No dropping. And my helpers can go ahead. Oh, I see some drops. Oh, I do not want to have to lay you off. It is so important. We're dropping. Dropping, dropping, dropping. Oh no! You can't drop those. Oh, you got 30 seconds left. Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna have to decrease your pay. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll let you stop. Stop. Good job. Okay. Okay, pick up your balloons and put them back in the bags for the helpers we're bringing around. And I have a bag as well. They're not all going to fit in one bag, so we'll have to sort of share here. I've got a bag here if you need more room. Okay. Make sure you use your hand sanitizer when you get back to your table. Oh my goodness, how did that feel? Exhausting. Like your normal day, right? Oops. I am not doing well. All right. Okay. Thank you to my helpers. And thank you for those that have done that before for not giving us away. That was exhausting, wasn't it? It's typical of our day, isn't it? And then more stuff gets added in. More stuff gets added in. Pardon me while I continue to pray. What did you observe? I know you're busy trying to watch your balloons, right? Chaos. People get worn out.
I thought it was fun, but I realized I was only focused on my area. And then when I looked in the middle and there was tons on the ground, then I was like,
Yeah, helping each other. What else? I'll tell you some of the other things I observed. After a while, I see some people go. Like I'm done going. I am not juggling. I saw a couple of people like, I got my balloon juggled, my balloon, my juggle. Y'all are guys. And we have this all the time in our work environments, in our home environments, in our life, right? I have some people that are like, come on here, you're trying to help the group. Like, I got the low ones, you get the high ones. I got some that are chasing balloons, right? Those are probably my S's. They're helping the team. But we have this every single day. So would it have made a difference if I would have said, if you're a D, you only juggle the yellow balloons, right? If you're a C, you only juggle the purple balloons. If you're an S, you get to juggle green and pink. So why can't we take something that simple and apply it to every single thing that we do every day? Okay? Not just for us, but for the people that work with us and the people that work for us. That is so important. So we are running out of time. On one of your yellow pages there, it is what is broken in my business, my life, my department. What is broken and what is working? Ooh, that's not working. There we go. If it's broken, get rid of it. Dump it, fix it, whatever. If it's working great, replicate it. Do it again. Do more of it. How do you leverage it? And definitely own it. I want you to see this video because I think it applies to all of this. And you can start making your list as you're watching this video. See if I can make this happen.
This morning I got up and got ready quickly because I had to get a lot of stuff done. I sat down at my desk to start getting my stuff done and I spilled my coffee, so I got a sponge to clean it up, and I figured I'd take an extra minute to clean my whole desk because a clean desk would help me get my stuff done. When I was finished, I realized I hadn't eaten anything and I didn't want to be hungry while I got my stuff done, so I went to the kitchen and I was out of cereal. When I got to the grocery store, I remembered a bunch of other crap I needed to get, and I figured I was already there, so I did my shopping for the week so I didn't have to worry about it while I got my stuff done. When I got home, I didn't feel like cereal anymore, and so I made an omelet and I did the dishes so I wouldn't have to do them after I got my stuff done. And then I went out to get some oil from the hardware store because my desk chair was kind of squeaky and I didn't want to be distracted by a squeaky chair while I got my stuff done. When I got back, it was getting kind of late and I knew I wouldn't be able to get my stuff done today, so I started watching the Twilight Zone marathon on TV. I just have to make sure I get to bed early because I want to be well rested tomorrow so I can get my stuff done.
How many times have we found ourselves in that situation? Dang on Amazon. All right. So, real quickly, we're going to go through these because I got to let you guys go. 80-20, right? 80% of our results are only going to come from 20% of our effort. So, how do we leverage that? If you write 10 things down, only 2 of them are going to get done. They're going to be the most valuable. So think about that as you're making your lists. Right? 80% of our sales come from 20% of our customers. 80% of our profits come from 20% of our products or services. Income, success, and advancement come from 20% of our activities. So, here's what you need to think about. Creative procrastination. What are those things on your list that you can procrastinate doing because they're not bringing you 80% of your results? Make sure that you're not doing those things. You're not focusing on those things. So, this is for the next yellow paper that you have. Again, you're going to make your list. And down the side, you have transferred, delayed, delegated, and outsourced. On that list, what of those things can be transferred to another department, to someone else, to another day, another month. What of those things can be delayed? You don't have to do them right now. What can be delegated? Whether it's somebody you work with, your significant other, your kids, and what can be outsourced? So can you get somebody else to, you pay another company or contractor to do it? There we go. All right. I had to share that one with you because I like it. All right, employee challenges. It really comes down to prioritization and delegation, right? And that's going to come from what vision and goals. And we're going to have a session on that. So we will address that later. This is another method on your list of things that you're making, the ABCDE method, all right? And if you would pick up a blank yellow paper, this is what we would be doing on the blank paper. So you're literally going to take your list of things and you're going to prioritize it. So your A items, you're going to put those as A1, A2, A3. That's it. No more than that. Because then they become B items. Okay? Your C items, that's kind of like, don't really do those. Don't really focus on those. And then, of course, your D items, D for delegate, and E for eliminate. All right, so I've just given you 3 papers or exercises there of what you can do on your list of things to do to make your time more efficient, to get 80% of your results. All right. 90-10 rule. Really, if you write things down, you're going to be much more effective at getting them done. And when you write something down, I want you to use present tense. Not, I want to make $500,000 a year. I make $500,000 a year. Not, I want to lose 50 pounds. I'm, whatever 50 pounds later would be, I'm 100 pounds. Okay? Questions? In your business planner, I want you to turn, so page 3, you're going to pick goal number 2, and this is something that I want you to work on over the next 30 days, okay, to our next session. And you can choose to share it at our next session or not. It could be something that we talked about today, something that we didn't talk about but came to mind, something that we talked about last session. And then I want you to turn to pages 11 and 12 in your business planner. You have your urgent and important matrix. Do your urgent and important matrix. Okay? So these are different methods and ways of reprioritizing things that you do. That you have to do, you want to do, gotta do. So our next session, we're going to talk about strategic mindset for women leaders. So we'll touch back on some of these because it's all about changing how we think, changing our behavior. We've got to change it or nothing's going to change, right? Mission of the sanity. There's our monthly topics again. Wow, really? There we go. If you guys have business cards out on the table, or picture this. If you have any questions about any of these monthly topics, about your DISC assessment, give me a shout. Any questions about the stuff we talked about today? Curiosities, challenges, funny stories. Angie, do you have anything you want?
I think we're good. Just a quick reminder, everything, the list of dates as well as topics can be found on the website, the chamber website. Click on events and you'll see the willpower. I do want to recognize our sponsors real quick. You guys want to stand up. Karen's here. She wasn't here last month with Class 101. She is our program sponsor. Thank you for doing that. Our platinum sponsor, Girdwood, they are on vacation. Let me get up on the beach. Faye with Town Money Savers. Janet with Buckingham, and Amanda with Pixel Alliance. We came in. And then our gold sponsors, Krista with LPC. Linda Oda, recorder's office, she's not here. here today, Wendy with 2023, Carrie with Huff, and Huskins is there, and then Lisa with Shackley. So thank you guys. You all help make this possible. Alicia, as always, thank you for coming out and doing a great job. Be sure to bring your notebooks back each month, the third Thursday of each month through January. For those who are not here, those sessions are recorded. They will be on our website as well as our YouTube channels. If you miss a session and you need handouts, one of us will get them to you, or you can pick them up at the next session. Thank you all for coming out. Have a great day, and we'll see you next